In central Aizawl, at the former Assam Rifles, a plan to cut down trees has sparked both protests and public debate. What started as a policy concern has now become a physical standoff. Earlier, concerns were raised by the Mizoram Transformation Movement (MTM) over a government plan to fell 169 trees in the area. These trees are widely seen as the lungs of Aizawl, helping regulate temperature and providing much-needed clean air in the crowded city. Now the situation has escalated. On Wednesday, the Center for Environment and Social Justice, also known as CESJ, stepped in and physically blocked workers from cutting the trees. The group positioned themselves at the site, stopping the felling process as part of a peaceful protest. At the center of this issue is a major development project. The government plans to widen roads and build what is being called the Aizawl Square. For this, a total of 176 trees have reportedly been marked for removal, but environmental groups say the cost is too high. CESJ has pointed to a 2024 study by urban forestry experts. According to the study, the trees in this area currently absorbs over 4,800 metric tons of carbon. Protesters argue that cutting them down will not only release stored carbon, but also destroy a key green space that helps filter pollution in the city. They also question the benefits of the project. The Public Works Department plans to widen the road between Bazar Bungkon and Dak Inpui to 14 meters. But CESJ says this expansion may not significantly reduce traffic congestion. In their view, the environmental damage could outweigh the benefits. There are also legal and procedural questions being raised. Activists and groups have asked whether proper permissions have been obtained, especially since parts of the area may fall under heritage zones. If so, approvals from specific authorities would be required. Another key issue is compensatory afforestation. Under Supreme Court guidelines, if trees are cut, new ones must be planted. But so far, there is no clear public information on where or when this will happen. CESJ is not just opposing, they are also offering alternatives. The group has suggested that instead of cutting the trees, they could be transplanted or even integrated in the road design as central green medians. They have formally requested the authorities, including the Public Works Department and the Mizoram Pollution Control Board, to pause the project and reconsider the plan. And they are calling on citizens to take a stand. CESJ leaders say they will continue their protest and have urged the people of Aizawl to support efforts to protect what they call the city's remaining green spaces. This story is now more than just about trees. It is about the balance between development and sustainability. It is about how cities grow and what they choose to preserve along the way. And as this standoff continues, one question remains. Can development move forward without cutting down what keeps the city alive? Now to a legal story that has taken nearly a decade to reach its conclusion. A former minister has been cleared of corruption allegations by the Aizawl District Court. The case dates back to 2017 and revolves around claims linked to a project known as Mizo. At the time, a local newspaper had published reports suggesting that the minister had benefited unfairly. In response, he filed a defamation case to clear his name. After 8 years, the court has now ruled that the allegations were not proven. The court stated that the reports caused damage to the minister's reputation. As a result, the publisher and the editor of the newspaper have been fined. From law and politics, we move to culture and celebration. The Chakma community in Mizoram has just concluded its most important festival, Bizu. The celebrations took place over 3 days in Longpuigat. Bizu marks the Chakma New Year. It is a time of joy, music, and tradition. People come together to celebrate with dances, songs, and community events. But beyond the celebrations, there is a deeper meaning. The festival emphasizes respect for elders. Younger members of the community seek blessing from their seniors. It is a reminder of values that continue to hold strong. Leaders and public representatives were also present at the event, Their participation highlights the importance of the Chakma community in the larger social fabric of Mizoram. Festivals like Bizu are not just about celebrations. They are about identity, continuity, and unity. Now to democracy in action, quite literally at people's doorstep. The State Election Commission has completed its home voting phase for the upcoming Aizawl Municipal Corporation elections. This initiative was designed for elderly citizens and those with severe physical challenges. Instead of asking them to travel to polling stations, officials went to their homes. In an inspiring moment, a 108-year-old woman from College Veng cast her vote from home. Her name is Pino Kungi. She is currently the oldest known voter in this election cycle. Her participation is more than symbolic. It shows the strength of democratic spirit. Even at 108, she chose to take part. Out of 2,768 people who applied, 2,594 cast their votes. That is a turnout of over 93%. This is not just a number. It is a strong message that democracy must be inclusive, that every voice matters, no matter the age or physical condition. Election teams started visiting homes earlier this week. They ensured that the process was smooth and secure. This effort has been widely appreciated. It shows how systems can adapt to meet the needs of people. And now, a story about women, reform, and a powerful voice in society. The Mizo Meitei in Sui Khompol, better known as MHEP, has marked 50 years of its Vanzao branch. The celebration included a community feast and the unveiling of a monument. But the focus was not just on celebration, it was on change. Leaders used the occasion to speak about recent changes in marriage and divorce laws. They expressed concern and called for amendments. A formal request has already been submitted to the Assembly Speaker. The goal is to ensure better protection of women and children. There was also a strong message on another issue: drug abuse. The organization called on mothers to play a more active role in guiding their children. MHEP has long been one of the most influential women's group in the state, and even after 50 years, its voice remains strong. Now to a developing legal and social issue in the state. The Mizoram government has formed a review committee to examine concerns related to the new marriage and inheritance law. This law came into effect in March and has already sparked debate. One key provision requires individuals who are divorced to present a formal divorce certificate before remarrying. Failing to do so can lead up to 7 years in prison and a fine. This has raised concerns among various groups, including women's organizations and church leaders. The newly formed committee will study these concerns. It will look at suggestions and feedback to ensure that the law is fair and clearly understood. It is an important step. Laws must not only be strong, they must also be just and practical. From law to education and a step forward in inclusive learning. The State Council of Educational Research and Training has signed an agreement with several special and inclusive schools. These include institutions working with visually impaired students, hearing impaired students, and children with other special needs. Under this agreement, SCERT will provide academic support and training. The goal is simple: to ensure that every child, regardless of ability, has access to quality education. Officials say that with the right support, children with disabilities can achieve great success. This initiative is being seen as a major step towards a more inclusive education system in Mizoram. Next, we take you to southern Mizoram, where culture and community came together in a big way. In Lunglei South, the Bru community celebrated the Boisu Festival in Zeted village. At the same time in Longklai, the Lai Women Association held its 17th General Conference. Over 13,000 members attended this conference. Discussions focused on preserving the Lai language and increasing the role of women in governance. There was also a strong message about connectivity. Improved roads have reduced travel time to remote areas. This is helping communities stay connected and grow. These events show how culture and development can move forward together. And now we look at efforts to strengthen the rural economy. In Kozol districts, officials visited passion fruit farmers to study ways to improve production. The focus is on better irrigation and safe transport, especially during the rainy season. Meanwhile, in Colosib, training sessions were held for areca nut farmers. Scientists are teaching modern farming methods to improve yield and income. These efforts are aimed at one goal: to make farming more productive and sustainable. When farmers succeed, the entire rural economy benefits. And finally, as elections approach, political tensions are rising. The opposition has filed a complaint against the ruling party, alleging violations of the Model Code of Conduct. The complaint claims that promises of infrastructure and financial support were made during the campaign period. These include offers related to transformers, vehicles, and funds for local groups. The ruling side has yet to respond in detail. As campaigning continues, all eyes will be on how these allegations are handled, because in the end, fair elections are the backbone of democracy. That's all for now. Stay informed, stay aware, and take care.